Psychonauts. I am your intergalactic guru and host of this channel, Cosmic Brian. Welcome aboard, my friends. This is going to be a kind of a off-kilter video, but it should be pretty cool. Kind of going into the psychedelic realm. Yeah, pretty unusual for us, right? I decided to look for the darkest psychedelic songs that I have in my collection, right? And I pulled a shitload of albums. In fact, I had to narrow it down to 10. And in fact, I might make a series out of this because there's so many, and you may disagree with some of these, and that's okay because, man, I appreciate if you list yours like down in the comments section, and hell, do your own video on it, man. It'd be cool. I'm not gonna start a tag. We're fucking neck deep in tags right now, right? I've seen some cool ones though. But anyway, here's what we're listening to, man. This Pussy Plays, really cool cover, cool band too, man. I actually really dig this album. There's a closer pic of the band there. And there's actually a dark number on this too, man. I can't see because I got sunglasses on though. Jesus. So yeah, man, let's get this thing started, man, and I will get into this. I got 10 albums here with 10 of the darkest psychedelic songs from the collection. Again, maybe not the darkest. I could have fished through and pulled 100 dark albums, or 100 psych albums with dark songs. So, but yeah, man, let's get it on. You guys ready, man? You guys ready to do a big chug out of the vintage vinyl koozie there? Here we go. You guys ready to toast to the vinyl community and to great music, man? Keeping it alive? All right, then let's hoist it up and toss it back. Here we go.
Oh, yes, my good friend, of course.
Oh, so good. All right, let me get these mind shields switched. We'll get to the stack of wax. Here we go. Boom! We're back, man. We're back in action. Oh, I knocked it over, didn't I? Good thing I didn't hit the floor. Anyway, so 10 of the darkest psych songs in my collection. I'm gonna start it off right off the bat with. Now, and these are, like I'm saying, more like the late 60s, early 70s, like psychedelic stuff. So there won't be any like modern stuff in here, but man, that's a good idea too. I might have to do that at a later time. Here, off this first album, a song that literally scared the living shit out of me as a kid, man. And some might say, you know, they're not really a psych band. They're more of a hard rock band. This song has definitely got some psychedelic elements to it. And that's Bloodrock 2. And the song is called DOA. It was released in 1971 on Capitol Records. Look at that. You can tell already by the blood, bottles of blood there for a transfusion that it's going to be somewhat dark. But yeah, DOA is a song about, I think it's about a plane crash. When I was a kid, I always thought it was a car crash. But it's about a plane crash. And one of the victims is describing like the aftermath of the crash, like his dead girlfriend, the blood, and how he can't feel his limbs. And and how when he's in the ambulance, the ambulance guys are telling him that it's not looking good for you, buddy, and make your peace kind of thing. But man, I tell you what, when I had a little story about this. When I was a kid, we'd go up to my grandparents' house for Christmas, right? And I'm talking grade school kid, like a little cosmonaut, right? Jesus. And I went down in the basement where my uncle stayed, right? He lived down there, my Uncle Sparky. And he had a record player down there and a stack of 45s, and I found this Capitol, 45 with the Capitol label. It said DOA. I just put it on for the shit and some giggles. And I gotta tell you, I was completely blown away. And you know, when you're a kid, you know, and you see a car wreck, you know it's terrifying, but you keep looking at it. Well, I played that record like 20 times in a row. And all of a sudden, a door flung open to my uncle's bedroom door. He comes strolling out all misty-eyed and like he just got out of bed, still in his underwear. He took that record and he smashed it over his knee and tossed it. Didn't say a word, just walked back into the bedroom. I guess I woke him up. He was pissed. Jesus. But I always associate that song with that event. But yeah, look at those guys. They're cool. Texas hard and heavy rock band with this very dark psychedelic song called DOA. And here's a sample.
Tried to move my arm and there's no feeling. And when I look, I see there's nothing there. The face beside me stopped, it's wholly bleeding. The girl I knew has such a distant stare.
All right, and then the second one. This is a little bit more in the psych realm here, but this is also, I think this is from the early 70s, 1971. And this is Brain Ticket. This is their album Psychonaut, which is a great krautrock, hard prog psych, super cool with female vocals. The track off of this is called Watching You. And this was released in 71 on Bellaphone Records. Very trippy, paranoia kind of song. Very experimental. Lots of weird effects and stuff. It's got this weird little... Oh, there goes my little fake Ubi strip. It's got a little sticker on there that holds it on there. But yeah, a very cool record. Picked this up. I was still living in Iowa, so it must have been at least probably 4, maybe 5 years ago. But yeah, very trippy krautrock song. A little element of paranoia, like somebody's watching you, and really gets heavy too. So definitely worth checking out. And here's a sample of that song. Oh, and that one also came with a CD. So I have a CD for the car if I want to play it in there. Yeah, you got it. This is a pretty common psych album. I mean, used to be Cheap Heat. I don't know if it's cheap anymore, man. Nothing's cheap anymore, right? Am I speaking the truth, Vinyl Community? Because I think I am. But this is a band called Sweetwater. And it's a self-titled album. Quite a few band members, obviously. But yeah, this is crazy, man. This was released in 1968 on Reprise Records. Reprise. I got a little bit of shit. Last time I called it Reprise. I've heard it called both, man. And every time I say it, I have somebody correct me. So I'm expecting to hear the shit hit the fan. But yeah, there's the band there. The song off of this is called My Crystal Spider. It's kind of a blend of like folk psych, fusion, like trippy acid folk, I guess. But the thing that really makes it so haunting is the vocals by Nancy Nevins, who I believe was in a like pretty serious car accident sometime after this record, and actually damaged her vocal cords. I don't think she was able to sing for quite some time. I think they did do maybe another album later on, but yeah, if you can find this is a killer album, man. If you're into that kind of folky, but there's some trippy tunes on here, including My Crystal Spider. Anytime you got a song about a spider and crystals, you know it's going to be dark, right? Right? So I'm going to give you a little sample here. Next on the docket, man, I could not leave this out, man. This whole album is nightmare fuel, man. So, yeah, it's pretty dark. This is a reissue, obviously. But this is the CA Quintet, Trip Through Hell. What you see on the cover is kind of what you get in the songs. And I'm not even going to pick just a specific track off this, because this whole thing is nutso. So out there. It was released in 1968. This is I'm not sure what the label was. This is a Sundazed reissue. I believe I picked this up at a record show probably about 5 years ago. Got it for like $20. Nice gatefold there with some flyers and stuff of the band. There's the track list there. Yeah, totally tripped out. Oh, you want the full effect? Let's see if we can get some full effect going here. There you go. It's basically just two different pictures. But yeah, man, it has like very unnerving like organ play, blood-curdling screams. You've got lyrics about spiders and friggin' marijuana and LSD and the devil's domain. I mean, you've got it all here. This is a tripped out album, man. The whole thing makes the cut, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Great stuff, man. Double album too. You get a lot of bang for your buck. And next is I debated whether to include this, but man, there's a song on here that is just dark, and it kind of gives me this weird like tripped out like it's this like weird mantra vibe, and it's the Stooges debut record. It was released in '69 on Elektra Records. Great pics of the band there. I'll get a little plastic off there, but yeah, man. And the song on this is like I think the story behind it was they didn't have a lot of songs when they went in the studio. So they came up with We Will Fall, which is this 10 minutes and 15 seconds of just tripped out Gregorian chant kind of thing, man. Super dark, very Eastern tripped out vibe. Kind of reminds me a little bit like something that the Velvet Underground would have done, and which makes sense because I want to say I seen it on the Gimme Danger documentary about the Stooges. But I guess Iggy was pretty good friends with Nico from the Velvet Underground. And I believe the song may have been inspired by something about him waiting for her in a hotel room or something like that. But yeah, super weird. I believe Dave Alexander was really into like the Middle Eastern, like Eastern influence, like raga and like sitar type stuff, and that's kind of what the influences for the writing the song were. Very dark, very trippy, very cool, man. I love it, man, and it is definitely probably the most psychedelic song on the album. A lot of people hate it because they don't think it fits in, but I dig it, man. One of my favorite songs on there. And this next one, the first time I heard this song, I mean, I was absolutely mind blown. I was listening to it in my car, and I had it cranked up. I was smoking a little doobie, and this was probably 5 years ago. And this song came on, and I was just like, it took me on this weird journey. Like, I don't even know if I was in hell or some other dimension or what, but it's on this album here, this Tago Mago, which was released in '71 on the United Artists label. It's Damo Suzuki's first LP with the band, but the song is called, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Among. Let's see if I can, is it on here? Yeah, it takes up the full side 3 of this double album. Oh, you want the full effect? You got it. There you go. Basically, two guys blowing doobie smoke at each other. I don't know, but yeah, man, it's the song itself is spelled AUMGN, And apparently the name was named for Aleister Crowley's interpretation of the Hindu mantra of Om. But yeah, man, this song screwed me up for a long time, man. Definitely worth checking out. Great album, too, by the way. Krautrock, very experimental, very cool. And I will insert a sample here for you. And the next one is this little 10-incher that I have. I don't even think these guys have an album. It's got 6 songs on it, but this is third Bardo. And first of all, the name of the band is taken out of a place in the Tibetan Book of the Dead. So yeah, there's a little dark undercurrent here. But yes, there's one of my favorite psychedelic tracks on here, Garage Psych, is I'm 5 years ahead of my time, which could be the song that would qualify it for this. But Rainbow Life is also a pretty dark tune as well, as is Lose Your Mind, which sounds a lot like 5 years ahead of my time. And there's the band there. When they released 5 years ahead of my time, it actually was doing well, like on the charts. But then for some reason, the radio stations just stopped playing it. I think it had something to do with they thought it was drug content. It probably was. It was the 60s, but come on, all the songs dealt with drugs. So, but yeah, for this one, third Bardo, which was, I believe it was 60, I want to say 67, maybe 68. But yeah, 5 years ahead of my time. And Lose Your Mind and Rainbow Life. Check them all out because it's killer. It's still tenor is a nice little record too. This whole album as well has some weirded out stuff that'll blow your mind, man. This is 50 Foot Hose and their album Cauldron. This is released in '68. I think in the US it was released on Limelight Records, and in the UK it was released on Mercury. This is a Modern Harmonic reissue. But the track off of this that I'm choosing is called Fantasy. It's a 10-minute track on side 1, and it is just crazy, like experimental synths. Again, some fusion in there. It's like proto-synth psychedelia. It's like a nightmare acid rock. This will definitely take you on a journey of the mind for sure. And again, the female vocals on this by Nancy Blossom are so haunting, and that's what gives it a lot of the haunting vibe. Do you guys, I've looked at this cover, do you guys kind of see a face right there in those stars? There's like the eye holes there and the nose and the chin. I don't know, maybe I just freaked out and staring at it too long, and you get that one syndrome where you think you see something even though it's not there. But I kind of get that vibe. Do you guys get it too? But yeah, man, Fantasy, such a weird trip. This whole album, these guys should have been big, man, but it tanked. But definitely worth checking out. Lots of weird songs on here. I could have picked a couple other tracks on this too, but Fantasy is the one we're going with. And I'll put a sample here. One is, now I almost chose this band's other album because their main track on that album is one of the trippiest, darkest tracks I've ever heard. Always, no matter how many times I've heard it, blows my mind. But I always show that one, so I wanted to show this one. I haven't shown this album, I think, since back when I lived in Iowa. So, and that's Ultimate Spinach's debut record. And yeah, you guys need the full effect on this. The big spinach cloud there. And there's the band right there. Ultimate Spinach. I wonder what they're talking about. Jesus. I partook earlier. Jesus, what is wrong with you? I'm going to get myself in trouble one of these days. There's the gatefold. This was released in oh shit, I want to say 67. Came out on MGM Records. 68 on MGM. And the track on this is called The Ballad of the Hip Death Goddess. And it is just this fuzzy, tripped out, LSD-fueled acid rock. It's got this extended instrumental jam. And it takes you to into the unknown, man. It's just like, and there's a little bit of spoken word at the beginning, as with like all their songs. It's right on par. To me, it's right on par with Mindflower on Behold and See. Part of the Bosstown sound here. But yeah, I'll give you a little sampler of the Hip Death Goddess. She reigns!
Touch my hand and you touch my hand Come let me take you in my arms. I will keep you safe from all.
And last album, number 10 here. Another total freak out of an album, man. I hadn't played this one for a long time, man. And when I busted it out for this video, I was just like, whoa, what the hell's going on here, boys? Jesus. This is Red Crayola right here. The Parable of Arable Land. Great psychedelic cover there. This is obviously a reissue. I wouldn't have an original in this good a shape. Also on the International Artist label. Released in 67. So the whole album is really a freak out. In fact, there's a series of what are called free-form freakouts between each song, right? But the song that I chose is the opening track on this record, and it's called Hurricane Fighter Plane. And it has a little in parentheses, when the ride is over, you can go to sleep. But until then, you're all along for the ride, man. And it's the free-form freak-out that introduces the song that kind of sets the stage for the dark undertones, the dark vibe you get with the song. And it is creepy, man. Great stuff though, man. It's got this, to me, all these freakouts on here and all these songs kind of give me this unsettled feeling. I don't know why, but every time I listen to it, I get that vibe. So yeah, check this out, man. I'll play a little needle drop here. So yeah, that's it, man. That is my, well, I wouldn't say my top, but it's 10 dark tracks off of 10 psychedelic albums from the Cosmic Collection. Like I said, I may do like a series on this, maybe a 2 or 3 parter, because there's just so many dark psychedelic tracks, man. Man, I didn't even bust out the Greystone Mansion or Greylock Mansion. I didn't bust that out or any of that weird stuff or anything by like Zappa. There's some weird Zappa stuff. But anyway, man, in fact, there's a Zappa tag if you want to check it out. But anyway, stay cool, stay cosmic. Hope you guys enjoyed this, man. Give me your dark psychedelic tunes in the comments down below. Speaking of comments, I promise I'll get caught up on replying to all the comments from the past couple videos and this one. Just been working 12-hour days, man. I'm wiped. All right, guys. Peace. Love you guys, man. Stay cool, stay cosmic, stay crazy.